Hello, good morning to you guys watching. Can you tell I just woke up?
Yes, I can.
Probably, I mean, it's quite obvious that I just woke up. You know, it's actually very chilly. We've got this current, like, storm that is the craziest storm in England. Anyway, sorry, I digress. So for today's video, I was just on my phone, and the reason I'm filming in this current state is because sometimes I get this overwhelming urge that I just have to do what I'm thinking of right then and there. It's one of my biggest drawbacks and one of my best qualities simultaneously, actually. I came across this article on my Facebook. You know when an article just pops up? Well, this article just popped up, and it was London's worst rated restaurant. This trend is about a year or two old. People going to the worst rated restaurants and cafes in their area. But I actually never saw one for London. I'm sure they are out there, but it just never came up from anyone that I watched. I'm so intrigued because I'm like, London, you either get really, really good restaurants or really, really bad restaurants. So I feel like if this is London's worst rated restaurant, it's gonna be interesting. What I thought what we could do is we could look up the reviews together. When I tell you that I am a review queen, if I'm going even to like the Pizza Express in my local area, I will look at reviews for that. I check reviews for everything. I love reviews. Google reviews and TripAdvisor. Maybe the worst restaurant in the UK. That's quite something. Oh my gosh, food didn't taste great at all. I have to admit, probably the worst restaurant I've ever been to. Oh my gosh, this is quite the claim.
Whoever opens this restaurant must be an individual that has no shame at all.
That's quite something. If you want to try microwave food or chips with ice on it, it's a good place to go and try. Oh my gosh, these comments, they're just coming in. There's like, to be honest, there's not really a good comment. The woman here is the most miserable woman in the world, and the food is the most disgusting. They go well together. Do you reckon that the person who owns the cafe knows it's at this extent? Maybe they just need Gordon Ramsay to come in and be like,
yo, what are you doing?
I'm going for quite some time, so clearly the hygiene place hasn't shut it down. So clearly it can't be that bad, right?
Tell yourself that, sweetie.
Also, my thing is, how bad can chips and a burger be? Oh, how funny, someone said this. Food was absolutely gross. The shrimp was frozen, fries were soggy and wet. Burger was raw in the middle and cold. Jagged potato was the size of a Roma tomato. Cola was like a discount's own brand of cola. Overpriced. Avoid at all costs. It has nothing to do with the like that could get an Oscar, that comment. Okay, let's check on TripAdvisor and see if there's any pictures. Ooh. Oh my word. Look at that ratio. Terrible has 136. Avoid, close this place down. Oh gosh, guys, I'm actually scared to go to this. Putting my health at yours, whatever that phrase is. Do you reckon I could call Gordon Ramsay? Be like, Gordon, yo, I've got a video idea for you. Can you come on my vlog and just tell me, come to this restaurant with me and see what they can do to make their quality better. Thanks, Gordon. X and O, see you there. Be there at 12:30. Where are the authorities to close this place down? Urgent action is required. Poor, poor, poor. Why is it so fun reading awful reviews? It's like, you know, going on Facebook Marketplace and looking at mirrors. That is a fun little hobby to do. I'm intrigued what today's going to be like. I literally have no idea. To be honest, the pictures of the food doesn't look that bad. Okay, the chicken is raw. That actually makes me feel really sick. Oh, actually looking at that makes me feel sick. We're gonna do it.
Hello, so I'm just about to go to the station and we're about to make the journey. It is by Victoria, so it's really quite easy to get to. So location I think is gonna be great. I'm really nervous that they're not gonna let me film. So I might have to do it on the sly, but I'm so intrigued. I feel like, can it be that bad? Like, how bad can a chip be? I just feel like you can't make chips bad. But maybe that is, I'm about to, also I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. Kind of feel like a veggie burger, but also kind of want some onion rings. Definitely, chips are like my main, do I get some pasta? The possibilities are endless, what am I gonna go for? Kind of wish I was going with someone so we could try more than one food. Maybe this can become a series, you know me, I love me a little series. The train is delayed and I feel like this is pathetic fallacy for what is about to come. It's fine though, we'll get there, but it's delayed by 20 minutes. Can I get the vegetable burger, please? And does that come with chips?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I also get the mixed salad as well?
Mixed salad?
Yes, please.
Anything to drink?
Just a tap water, please.
Only bottled.
Yes, you did hear that correctly. Only bottled water, but don't you worry, I elaborate on my full experience at the end because I could only do stealthy filming when I was in there because she was there, I was there, it was empty, so she would definitely have heard me. Oh, okay, don't worry then. Thank you. Okay, so I just ordered, and you can't even get tap water. A bit weird. The decors, okay. So she brought over my salad, which just you wait until you hear how much it is. You will be shooketh. Bear in mind how small it is, and some little tiny tomato ketchups and cutlery, which was very clean, and it came with a napkin. So kind of balling over here with our napkin wrapped cutlery. It was just me and her in the restaurant, and she was preparing my food over there. Then my food came. So here it is. I got a veggie burger and some chips. The veggie burger was literally just like a bun with nothing at all in there. And then here were the chips, quite a nice sized portion. Here goes the chip taste test. I was actually really pleasantly surprised by the chips. They were very, very hot. I could tell that she had just fried them. You could hear her frying them when she was preparing it. And then I had the veggie burger, which as you can see from this video clip, the veggie burger was so big for the burnt roll. But at the end of the day, it wasn't that bad. But it just kind of looked like something I could have prepared at home, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but it definitely wasn't the best veggie burger I've ever had. I also then tried to eat some more, but basically half of the patty broke off. It was a very crumbly veggie patty, but it was okay. It was quite palatable actually, and I would eat it again. The main reason I wanted to get the salad was to test the freshness, because I was like, if the salad isn't fresh, then it's alarm bells for me. But it was pretty good. It had this weird sort of cucumber that had the skin taken off, which was a bit peculiar. I'm actually very bitter still about how much I had to pay for it, but it's fine, we get over it. You'll hear that later on in the debrief about my experience. It was an okay salad. It was just something that like I could have had at home, and it had this little dressing on and some pepper. It was okay. Thank you. Thanks. Basically, as I have been alluding to in this whole video, the price point was crazy. So I went on like a little adventure to try and see what the price of other meals were, because I was like, maybe I'm just in a really expensive area. Maybe this is like the most expensive area in London, to see what other cafes. So I went into Pret, which is like one of the most expensive restaurants ever. I went on a wild little goose chase to find all the prices of everything. Nothing was really more than about £7 in all of the different cafes I went to. Even in Burger King, their veggie burger, which I still think is quite expensive, was £8. And then I even went into Wasabi to see how much it was in Wasabi, because I think Wasabi is quite expensive. It was £4.50, or you could get a main meal for £7. Even a flipping burrito place was also £7 for like a warm, hearty meal in the station, which is normally so expensive. Well, what an experience we have had, ladies and gents. I actually need to show you what you're currently balancing on. Olives and an egg thingy. Oh, hi! Inception. So I made a list of some things to talk about because, quite frankly, it was a journey. Number one, no tap water, which I feel like, is that illegal? Editing Grace, can you tell us if that's illegal? Filming Grace, I did a little Google and this is what I found, a little bit of information on your rights to free water. Still don't know if that means it's completely illegal or if it's just like one of those things where you should have access to it, so I'm not quite sure. Number two was the service. Now, for me, I actually found the service pretty standard to cafes. There was not really any talk there. I mean, I do personally like an interaction with the cafe staff, but she did her job, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It wasn't like,
oh my gosh, she was so rude.
It was literally just, what would you like? £16 please. Number three, cafe was empty, completely empty, even though it was in a really busy place. It's just like a cafe that you would find in any town. It was dead, it was completely dead. Now, when I say it was like a cafe, bear in mind this point for my last point, which is the big one. It was like any cafe in any town, okay? Bear that, bank that. Have you banked it? Get it banked in your head. Fourth was the food, obviously. Now the food was prepared. I could hear her sizzling the chips. I was watching her sizzling those chips. It was good. I mean, it was hot and it was just kind of, again, like any cafe food that you would get. The chips were good. That's what I said. I was like, how wrong can chips be? They were hot, they were crispy, they were fried, they were just like normal chips. One thing that did concern me was the pepper. It had a weird like colour on the top there. I didn't know what was happening, so I didn't use that because I just wasn't trusting the pepper. Not a deal breaker. The food was edible. The one thing I would say was the veggie burger. Veggie burger was sad. It was a sad time. It was a simple like sesame bun that you get from Tesco's, with a veggie burger that you can literally get for like 60p, and there was nothing in there. There was no mayo, there was no lettuce, there was no tomatoes, there was no onion, and these are the standard basic things I would think that you would get in a veggie burger. But again, nitpicking, but that is what this is. This is a food review. Number five was cleanliness. It was quite clean. It was very dark though, which I don't do well in dark atmospheres. It was a bit dated. Again, it was just like any cafe that you would find. It wasn't like, oh my word, this is the worst place I've ever been in my life. Get me out of here right now. Lacking a certain je ne sais quoi. You know, if you're in London, when there is so much competition, you would think that they could put a little tiny bit more effort in. Number six, which is the biggest bone of contention, which I also found was the running theme of contention in the bad reviews, the price point. As I said, it is like any cafe that you would find in a town. However, those cafes that you find in towns, their burger is literally like £3 for a burger and then chips, and you get tap water. This was £16 altogether. The side salad, I need to find out how much that side salad was. The mixed salad was £4.50. £4.50. The mixed salad was £4.50. You can get a salad in Pret a Mortgage, of all places, £4. I couldn't believe it. I think that is where, when you're paying so much money, you don't want to pay that much for a measly bowl of lettuce leaves. The vegetable burger and chips was £9.95. Yes, you did hear that correctly. I paid £9.95 for my veggie burger, £4.50 for my salad, which actually totals £14.45, but I was charged £16. So I don't know what happened there. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't making a big deal about the price, because I know that in London, rent is really high and the cost of everything is a bit higher, so meals are going to be more expensive. I am very aware of that. But there was a cafe that was like the equivalent thing, but it had 4.1 stars, so I looked at the menu and the cost of basically everything was half price. So it just goes to show that they can still make it work without being quite so expensive. And that's where I think the cafe has gone wrong. Granted, I do not think it deserves quite the bad reviews it had. I'm not saying it's the best cafe that I've ever been to, but I'm also not saying it's the worst cafe I've ever been to. It's the prices. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any other videos that you want to see like this, Or if you've been to the cafe, let me know your opinions, because I might have just had a really good experience. I was the only one in there. I was the only one that needed serving, so it wasn't like she was rushed off of her feet. Let me know what you think down below. And should I do this with the highest rated restaurant in London? I kind of want to see what it is. I kind of want to look already, but I feel like I should save it for another video. Anyway, cheers. Oh my, I nearly came out of my nose. Bye, thanks for watching.